One of the most common struggles that I find with buyers looking to buy a villa in Dubai is that they struggle to understand the city, especially when they're not from Dubai or the country itself. The purpose of today's video is to essentially explain all of the villa communities that someone can buy into so that they can have a proper understanding of the villa market as a whole and start to really delve into deeper what community is going to work for them. In Dubai, we have apartments, townhouses, and villas, and that's the way that we define property here. Apartments are obviously in a tower block, townhouses are houses, but which are attached to at least one other house. And then a villa is a true detached standalone property. Now, this video, I'm not going to go into all of the details within each of the communities that I'm going to talk about, but at least touch on them, explain the lifestyle and the location that's on offer, so then we can start to begin the conversation if these are of interest. Firstly, I'm going to be talking about the secondary market and then what is available in the off-plan market, which I can specifically help with. Now, to understand the different areas, I wanted to break it down and segment it into 6 different locations of Dubai that we can sort of focus on. Now, the first location we have is any villas which are on the water. The second location we have are what I've sort of just called, for the purpose of this video, the commuter locations to the Marina, just because they're next to one of the city centres, which is Dubai Marina. Then you have the commuter locations to downtown and DIFC, which again is next door to the central hotspot of downtown and DIFC. Then you have the suburbs, which make up this large parcel of land. Then the south, and then what I like to call the extension communities here. Now, firstly, if we take a look at what's available in the waterfront villa communities, we start to find some of the most expensive properties in Dubai. We have, for example, the Palm Jumeirah, where prices will range from 20 million dirhams for a 3-bedroom villa all the way to 7-bedroom mansions where the prices could be 100 million dirham plus. Most of the villas here are 4-bedroom villas. And just to understand the way the pricing works, the further down the front that you go, the prices get more and more expensive, as well as the villas getting bigger and bigger. The next location to look at would be Jumeirah Bay, which is the area of Dubai where some of, if not the most expensive villas are sold today. We're talking potentially 300 million dirhams plus, which are all located at the top of Jumeirah Bay, where people can buy plots and build their own custom villas. We then have Emaar. Emaar is slightly different, where you have Emaar South. Emaar South, again, it's plots for villas, but this community is now being transformed into Azora Bay, where a high-end residential project by Dubai Properties is being built. Then you have on the right side, Sir de Emaar, where these are not really villas, but townhouses, but I'm just speaking about them quickly because they are sometimes a compromise that people are willing to take to get a location like this. Here, those townhouses are starting from 10 million dirhams. Finally, on this waterfront line, you have Palm Jumeirah, which is an interesting community where people can buy plots. These plots are roughly starting from 10,000 square foot in size, and they will transact from really minimum currently 1,900 to 2,000 dirhams per square foot, meaning the minimum buy-in here is going to be 20 million dirhams, where you can build a custom villa of your own choice in a gated community. You also have a private beach at the top where Nikki Beach is located. Now bringing you to the Marina commuter locations, you have all of these communities here. Now, the first group of communities I want to identify are a group of communities which sit within Emirates Living. Emirates Living, just to give you an idea, are gated communities which were built by Emaar 20 years ago and some of the oldest communities and most established communities in Dubai. Within Emirates Living, the communities which have villas which you can consider are going to be, number 1, the Meadows. These are all standalone villas. They range from 9 million dirhams to 30 million dirhams. You then have the Lakes in this corner here. The Lakes, again, they're a mix of townhouses and villas, but the villas, they range from 10.5 million dirhams to 30 million dirhams plus. And then finally, you have Emirates Hills within Emirates Living. Emirates Hills is one of the most iconic and luxury communities in the whole of Dubai, and really sort of known as a number 1 postcode to most people within the city. Emirates Hills has mansions which are ranging from a price point from 50 million dirhams all the way up to 250 million dirhams plus, which are all built around an iconic golf course. To the left of Emirates Living, you have another villa community which is completely gated called Jumeirah Islands. Here you have some fantastic properties which are ranging from 20 million dirhams all the way to sort of 35 million to 40 million dirhams. These are high-end properties, all centered around lakes. Jumeirah Islands was built by Nikhil, as well as Jumeirah Park, which is just to the left of Jumeirah Islands, which is not a gated community, but has standalone villas ranging from the price point of 6.5 million dirhams to 30 million dirhams. Finally, to the left, and I've just sort of grouped it in for now because it kind of sits in that location, you have Al Furjan. Here, it's not as luxury as Emirates Living or potentially Jumeirah Islands, but it is a fantastic location to get around to Dubai. And the prices are quite favorable, talking around about a starting price of 5 million dirhams for these standalone villas in a gated community. Now, turning your heads to the commuter locations of downtown, you have a few strategically located communities which are really worth considering. The first one is District 1. District 1 is also known as an amazing high-end billionaire location. Villas here for a 4-bedroom standalone villa are starting from 20 million dirhams. It's centered around Crystal Lagoon, which is swimmable and also has a clubhouse within the community. People love to live here because you are so close to downtown and DIFC, and it is really the closest freehold villa location you can get to these prime hotspots of the city. Now, I've also grouped in the downtown commuter locations, Dubai Hills, but you could also sort of group that within the Marina location just because of how central it actually is and how equidistant it actually is to both of those hotspots of the city. But on the left side of Dubai Hills, you have Sidra Villas. Sidra Villas for the 3-bedroom standalone villas now are really transacting at above 8 million dirhams, which is actually, believe it or not, kind of known as the more basic or standard villas that you can buy within Dubai Hills. On the right side of Dubai Hills, you have villas which are centered around the golf course, which is what Dubai Hills is really known for throughout the city. These villas can really reach the heights of 40, 50 million dirhams plus, and this is where the clubhouse is also located within the community. Now we'll come to the suburbs, which although are not essential to the city and therefore offer better affordability, but does not mean that the quality is compromised in these areas. In these areas, you have some really prime real estate and really popular real estate that people do want to move into. Now, for the purpose of the video and time, I'm not going to go through all of the details within the suburbs just because it will take us forever. But just to highlight a few key communities, I'm going to go through them as we go further into the desert. Now, I think firstly, it's really important to understand Jumeirah Golf Estates. Jumeirah Golf Estates is centered around 2 championship golf courses, and there's only around about 1,000 villas all across the community. This is really known as a very popular and very Western community that people from all over the world love to move to and really offers a lifestyle different to what most communities offer in Dubai. If we come a little bit further down, another key few communities to understand are Arabian Ranches 1, which is here. This is 4,000 units. It's one of the most mature communities alongside Emirates Living, which I've already touched on. Arabian Ranches 2, which is again developed by Emaar, as well as Arabian Ranches 1, and then Arabian Ranches 3, which is currently handing over. A little bit further down from E311 and E611, you'll notice there's a community called Barari, which again, sort of like Jumeirah Golf Estates, offers a lifestyle and a way of living which hasn't really been seen in the rest of Dubai. This has a lot of trees and greenery, and it's a community which consists of only standalone villas and a few apartment blocks. Real estate here can really see the heights of 40, 50 million dirhams plus. Now, with these suburb locations, as I mentioned, I don't want to go into detail on each of those, but depending on the lifestyle and the location that you want within here, you can see prices really range for standalone villas anywhere from 5.5 million dirhams all the way up to 40, 50 million dirhams plus. Now, going a little bit more into the desert, you have what I call the edge communities. Now, edge communities is just the name I've given for the purpose of this video, but there are really a couple of interesting areas which can make some really good investment potential. Here you have Damac Hills 2, which is a gated community by Damac. It has amazing amenities within the actual community. And then you have the Valley, which although is not really established yet, is a community which is handing over slowly and bit by bit. These can make some really strong investments. And for anyone who really does have a long-term view of the market, could be investments to make if you're looking to maybe move here in 5 to 10 years plus. Finally, we'll come to the last area of Dubai where you can buy villas, and this is really the south of Dubai, which is a growing part of the city. A lot of investment from the government especially is going into this area, for example, into Expo City and the airport. The only real villa community which is established or where you can live in now is Emaar South, which again, it follows a very, very similar mindset and principle to the edge communities, which I mentioned, like the Valley and Damac Hills too, where these aren't mature yet, but will take time to develop over time. Now, when you compare the off-plan market to the secondary market, one aspect that people often overlook is the luxury of choice you have with off-plan villas. People don't really understand how limited you can really be when you start to explore a villa in the secondary market. Now, for example, if I take Arabian Ranches, there are 2,300 standalone villas in Arabian Ranches. If I go onto Property Finder, which everyone does, this is the main property portal of Dubai, and I search and filter out Arabian Ranches and standalone villas, it might feel that I have a lot of choices of villas to choose from. It's showing me that I have 308 villas or property listings that I can choose from today. However, what a lot of people who don't understand the Dubai market is that this is not really the case. A lot of listings in Dubai are what we call duplicates. Many of you might not know, but you can list one property up to 3 times with 3 other agents. So that creates a lot of false listings. On top of that as well, a lot of people decide to list a townhouse as a villa, which will obviously show in here. And on top of that as well, people don't publish verified listings. They just list a picture, which don't really rank that high up when you do search for them, but it does show in the numbers. Now, the reality of how many villas actually sell per month is rather shocking when I compare what Property Finder brings up as the initial results. In Arabian Ranches, there are 2,300 units, as I mentioned. In October, only 18 of them transacted. That means you only really have around about 20 villas in a community of 2,300 to choose from. So if you're someone who is quite particular about plot size, location within the community, orientation, for example, number of bedrooms, it becomes even more difficult to find the villa that you want in the secondary market. And that is why the values for the secondary market villas have become so high. A lot of people are living there, they're not selling them, they're living there and they're raising their families, so they're not looking to sell, so the market is not very liquid for looking to buy a villa for you. However, if we take a look at the off-plan market, you're not only getting great value for money in the properties that you're buying, a better product as well, because these are newer communities built with better technology. But on top of that as well, a proper choice and a full choice of the units that are going to work for you. If you have the luxury of time, whether you're an investor or you're looking to move into the property, off-plan, especially for choice, is a great route to go down because you'll have a full choice of the master plan, especially if you prepare well for these off-plan launches. Villas are an extremely desirable product, especially if you can push the budget towards them, because there is genuinely a limitation on how many villas are being built today. If I take a look at the Dubai Land Department data, only 7% of the market of Dubai is standalone villas. And although it looks really big on the map and covering a lot of surface area, there is only a limited amount of standalone villas because it takes up a lot of land to build standalone villas as compared to residential apartments. As a developer, it is always more profitable to build upwards rather than building outwards. And as a result, you'll always have undersupply of standalone villas. However, if I take a look at the demand side of things, the demand is actually picking up for standalone villas. People are deciding to live in Dubai for a long-term basis now. They're meeting their future partners, they are having kids here and raising a family. And naturally, people always will tend to do this in houses compared to apartments, no matter where the location of that house is. Now, to summarize, in Dubai, you can really start to segment the villa communities in those sort of 6 ways. There is a lot of options and choices you do have in the secondary market, but if you do have the luxury of time, I would encourage someone to take a look at the off-plan market. The off-plan market comes thick and it comes fast. So if you are looking to buy an off-plan villa in the Dubai property market, it's important that you're prepared. So feel free to reach out to see if we can help. Are you already working with an agent that you trust? The reason I ask this is because in the UAE, agents are paid on commission and not on a salary. Every single developer is available through every agent. And if you're already working with an agent that you trust and has given their time to you, I would advise for you to carry on working with them, as their time is extremely valuable. However, if you've not found an agent that is able to show you the whole market and give you unbiased advice, please feel free to reach out to me below. I'll be more than happy to help you with the entire UAE market. If you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. And if you have any thoughts or comments, please comment them below in the video. I do try my level best to reply to as many as possible as I can.